All right, all right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, wherever you are in this beautiful world. Welcome to Mindset Monday. I'm your host, Ryan Carthage. I hope everybody had an awesome weekend, and we're ready for a phenomenal start to the week. So as always, let's turn off all distractions, prepare your minds and your bodies to engage as you guys always do. And let's have some good conversation this morning. So, excuse me, I'm a little under the weather. We're going to get it rocking. So this morning, we're continuing down this path of beliefs of successful people. And a lot of times we see people achieve these great feats, and especially as kids, right? Even adults, I hear a lot of people still say it, but I'll never be able to achieve that, right? What I want to talk about this morning is records are meant to be broken. And they're meant to be broken by people like you and me. They're meant to be broken. Adversity. It's a fun thing, right? Struggles, trials. Adversity causes some people to break, and it causes some people to break records. Humans, us, in these physical bodies, we're propelled and we're inspired by trailblazers, right? Those who have gone before us and have been successful. So when we know what works, and we know others, and we know what others have done, right, we can then set our sights and our vision on similar sites and similar goals from the people that came before us. But we also have the ability to exceed those goals that came before us. Records are meant to be broken, right? We are shown the way by leaders. They motivate us, and they set the bar high, right? They set a standard for us, but that standard is set for us to surpass, not to limit us, right? So we as people, we as leaders, we can lead the way for future generations, right? And those that come after us. So if you have a working brain, you can learn anything. And with the right process, backed by empowering beliefs, with the right process, backed by empowering beliefs, you can achieve amazing levels, those levels that others have also achieved, but you can also exceed them. You can do more, right? But this only happens when the beliefs that when you have the belief, this only happens when you have the belief that every previous success can and is meant to be exceeded. You have to believe that in your core. You have to believe that in order to open yourself up for the possibility of surpassing that, right? We have this ability to break records. So what happens when you have a successful process with the belief in alignment, right? You have the process, but you believe that this process you believe in the process, and you believe that going through this process will help you to achieve that next level, your brain then gets to work, right? Your brain then gets to work in your reticular activation system, that thing we talked about some weeks ago, right? It begins to become, open you up to become more aware of things that will help you to create what it is that you're focused on, that purpose, right? That vision, that goal. The purpose of the brain is to make the program a reality. The purpose of the brain is to make the program a reality. That means the brain takes those beliefs that it's given, right? Those beliefs that we're focused on, those beliefs that come from other people from our past, and that's our focus. And the brain literally takes information and goes about achieving it. It doesn't add emotion to it. And with that being our focus, it then gets to work to bring those things into our awareness, those experiences into our awareness. And then that's what you see. And that's what gives you your perception of reality based on what you're aware enough to see, right? And that's how your mind brings your beliefs to reality. It opens you up to things that are now occurring, right? It brings those things to your awareness. So as those leaders, those people that are out there creating new levels of success, that are creating new things, right? Setting new records. We then now know that it's possible that we can also do those things, right? That those records can now become our focus. Right? Those things can now become our focus. The Forex trade room, it started out as a thought. This culture, this environment started out as a thought. And we had a belief that we can change the narrative in the trading industry. Why don't we create a group and teach them the things that we know and that we've experienced, and be honest with those things, and don't create this pie in the sky, get rich overnight idea, but keep it real and keep it down to earth and say, this is legit how you can move through this process to achieve the things that you desire. That was our goal. That was our mission. And we believed that it was possible because we experienced it, right? Started out as a thought. We had a belief that it was possible because we were now doing it, right? And going through that process, we can help people become consistently profitable. Now, our goal at the time wasn't super specific. We didn't have a specific number of people that we wanted to impact. It was just to impact as many people as possible, right? And this was something that, based on our experience, it hadn't been a full culture that was truly immersed in one specific way of doing things. So it was new. And our methodology that we teach is also something that we hadn't found in many places outside of the mentors that taught us. It wasn't something that was in the public. So it was new, hadn't been done before, to put it on the main stage. But we knew we had a vision, right, of the culture that we wanted to create. And we knew that with the vision and the belief in line with the effort, and we knew it was going to take some time, we could start to chip away at this narrative of everybody fails in the trading space, right? This narrative that, oh, that's a get rich quick thing, or it's not real. we could change that narrative. And here we are today. We've positively impacted over 500 people in this trading space in just over a year's time, right? But not only in the trading space, but also in life. We've helped people take steps through difficult situations that they may be experiencing to start to move through and heal from past experiences to be able to truly start to take steps towards the life that they desire and living an authentic dream, right? It's possible. It starts with a thought, and then it's backed by the beliefs that you have. We as people, we will never experience what we're truly capable of until we realize that those heroes, those people that we admire, they're role models, right? They're setting a model and showing us what is possible, and we too can achieve greatness, whatever we deem greatness as, and we can exceed the levels that they are currently playing at. No matter how high you set your goal, there are always going to be people that can inspire you to do more. It's always going to be available. And the more you expand your awareness, the more that comes into your awareness, right? I realized the other day, the more I grow in this space, the more I learn in this space, the more I don't know that I'm so eager to learn. I was legit, I stumbled upon, nothing is coincidence, but I stumbled upon this interview from this physicist who was talking about the mind and consciousness and how energy works and how our bodies and how this physical experience that we're having, how it all works from a scientific and mathematical perspective, literally backed by studies that he's personally doing and has done. And it blew my mind. I was like, I have never heard it from this perspective before, right? So there's always going to be people that will be able to inspire you at another level, right? And those role models, they can inspire you with their courage, right? And they lead by example, right? And that encouragement and those examples will just continue to press you, continue to inspire you, continue to drive you to do more, right? And then the beautiful thing about developing a growth mindset, and this is where I think a lot of people get stuck, is even when you stretch yourself to what you believe as the pinnacle, the top, the end of what you're able to do, I can't do anymore is what we tell ourselves. You will only be scratching the surface. And most people, when they get to that point, they literally stop. They don't believe that their body, their brain, their mind is going to allow them, it's going to evolve and adapt and allow them to do more. Because it feels uncomfortable once you get to those outer limits of your current level of awareness, your current level of ability, your current strength level if you're lifting weights. But your body's going to naturally adapt. Your body's going to get stronger. Your mind is going to become more aware of things that's going to allow you to take that one more step. Right? Impossible only exists until somebody does it. Impossible only exists until somebody does it. It was once believed that it was impossible for a human to run a mile in 4 minutes. All right. The 4-minute mile was seen as a physical barrier that no human could go beyond without causing extreme physical damage, right? And extreme damage to their overall health and well-being. On May 6th, 1954, Roger Bannister of England ran a mile in 3 minutes and 59.4 seconds. Suddenly, this mile thing became possible. It was possible. Then 56 days later, a guy by the name of John Landy from Australia ran a mile in 3 minutes and 57 seconds. Then within 3 years, 16 more people broke that 4-minute mile. What happened to that perceived physical barrier where our bodies were going to break down and it was going to cause extreme damage? Did we just have this sudden change, the sudden leap in human evolution? Nah. It was just a shift in how we thought. And somebody said, I'm going to do this. And I'm going to do what's necessary to enable me to do this. They believed it was possible. They believed it was possible. That's the change. Often the barriers that exist, they only exist here. We place them on ourselves based on the beliefs that were ingrained in us, in the barriers that were ingrained in us from childhood or from other impactful emotional experiences along our journey. Those beliefs influence what we attempt and what we choose not to attempt in our life. And we can get trapped in false beliefs, right? And mistaken assumptions that other people have achieved milestones because they're special, they're gifted, they're lucky. It's not only untrue for just about everything, but it's also unfair to those people that have worked their butts off for years to achieve new levels of greatness. But even more, it's unfair to you. It's unfair to you to say, oh, they just did it because. It immediately removes your ability to achieve that next level. It immediately removes that from your awareness of possibility. And you're tearing yourself down and you're comparing your journey to somebody else's, but you don't understand the steps that they went through to achieve that. It's just an assumption. And you never get a chance to start that developmental process. So it's unfair to you. So although we have gone further than those that came before us, just overall, right? And even you, in your experience, you've achieved more than people that came before you. It's nowhere near the ability in what's coming after us. Our ability to learn is truly limitless. So from 1900 to 2000, there was a massive outburst in human innovation, right? Tons of things were created in that 1,000 years, right? I'm sorry, 100 years. From 2000 to 2016, 100 years. Now from 2000 to 2016, there was an equal amount of innovation. In just 16 years, we as humans, we as people were able to create as much as we were to create for 100-year span of time. An equal amount of innovation. And now, here in 2021, from 2016, I'm sorry, 2022, from 2016 to this year, 2022, there's been an equal amount in this 6-year period of time. There's an equal amount of innovation as it was from 2000 to 2016. What that tells us is not only are we able to learn more than we were in the past, but we're also able to do it faster. So we're on this exponential curve of innovation and learning, right? And now in 10 years, we're going to have flying cars. I don't know if any of you watched the Jetsons, but the Jetsons, that cartoon, is going to be a reality in our lifetime. So the way energy works, let's kind of help explain this exponential curve. The way energy works is it continues to feed off of itself, right? You have an atom that feeds off of an atom, and that energy is felt outside of its current realm, right? And then it impacts the other atoms that are next to it, right? And those also impact the ones that are next to it. And there's a thing called 0-point energy, which is the space in between two things, right? That 0-point energy is also impacted, which also expands. And all of this expansion, it's just ever evolving, right? You never get to the inner layers of that onion because it's always expanding. That's what creates our experience. That's what creates our awareness. And because it's always expanding, we're always expanding. We're always growing. And that that speed of expansion continues to increase because now you have more atoms that are also impacting more atoms, and it speeds up that rate of change. It's super scientific, but that's how it works, right? But this expansion isn't just for scientific discoveries, but it's also with human thinking and human experience, right? Everybody said that 1 minute mile wasn't possible. And then in less than a year, 3 people had done it. And then in 6 years, was it 6 years? 3 years? 3 years, 16 people had done it. Nobody had done it. And then, right? Whatever someone else has done, we can do better and we can do more. With the right amount of passion, the right amount of commitment, the right amount of knowledge and training, we can completely change our experience. It takes work. You have the ability to break world records, man. We have the ability to break records. Regardless if you know it or not. There's a record breaker in you. There's a legend inside of you, just waiting to peek its head. Just waiting to peek its head. But you'll never know if you can set a world record, win a local competition, achieve your true potential until you believe in yourself and your ability to learn from the victories and the mistakes of your past and from others. We have to believe that. We got to commit ourselves to an unconditional march in the direction of our desires. No conditions. I'll do whatever it takes. I'll take that next step to take that one step in the direction of my desires. At that point, once we accept that and we anchor into that belief, then you're going to amaze yourself. You're going to amaze yourself. You're going to amaze others. And you're going to carve a path that others are going to desire to follow. You can break records. You can change the world. It's one step at a time. It's learning one thing new. It's becoming 1% better every day. And in that change starts. You guys are doing it by showing up every morning. Let's continue to take those steps one at a time in our different experiences, in our relationships, with our health, with our healing of past traumas. All of those individual steps, it's changing the world. So let's continue to press in. That's Mindset Monday, good people. Floor is open for questions, comments, thoughts.
I truly love the record-breaking thing idea. um, I know for me, it's definitely been a really good journey, and I'm ready to. I wanted to come on and just yell, "Let's go!" when you first started. So
Let's do it, man. Let's do it. Let's
definitely,
go.
let's go. So thank you for that.
Appreciate you, Ms. Donnett.
I scream it, let's go!
Let's go, man.
But on the real, when you started speaking, I was like, that's just like the Jetsons. They said we'll never have the opportunity to see people over the phone. And they said, matter of fact, we're working on flying cars, and we were supposed to have flying cars in 2000s. In the 2000s, it was predicted. But actually, we got the phone before we got the cars.
Yeah.
You know,
in Star Trek, they had these devices, right? That was in 1990. And then by 2000, we had these smartphones, right? It was just a figment of someone's imagination in 1990 to have this smart device. 10 years.
And then I was reminded, going through my stroll today, they got this video, and somebody else said it too. Think Judge Judy. And it was basically saying, you know, Vera Wang didn't start her company till she was 40. It said Harrison Ford was a carpenter at 30. Mm-hmm. Oprah got fired at 23. Mm-hmm. And the whole point was, like, if Oprah wasn't fired at 23, they was like, well, Oprah got fired. No, she wasn't Oprah at 23. She was just a young punk that needed to be fired. Mm-hmm. She didn't become Oprah until she got fired. Just basically recognizing the fact that we have to be able to fail in order to succeed.
That's it. That's it.
Because ain't nobody, I feel you. I understand in the beginning when I joined, when you kept saying, you know, there's no such thing as perfectionism, because I was raised to be perfect. But I realized that was a mindset, and being okay and learning from these lessons, so to speak, it's been a journey and it's been great.
We appreciate
And in
you.
all ways, thank y'all for this space.
You're very welcome. We appreciate you.
I concur with both people that just spoke. This has been awesome. And the aspect of just getting better 1% a day, I think that that just really blessed me the most. Don't have to, because sometimes things seem so overwhelming. But if you take it, you know, the way you just said it, that's definitely a bite-sized piece. No, that's doable.
Yeah.
That was load lifting. So I appreciate you so much.
You're absolutely welcome. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I also have a question. My daughter joined the group last night and she said, Mosh, I didn't get the link. Can you ask them to look for new members? But I tried to tell her she can also go in through the community, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That tell her check her spam,
Oh, okay.
check her
Yeah.
promotions folder,
Okay.
and make sure that she didn't opt out of receiving marketing messages from us, because that's ultimately what is considered. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I'll tell her. Thank
Tell her
you.
to do that. And if it's not there, which it should be, also check her trash, send me her name, and I'll go in to see if she's opted out of receiving messages from us.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. Appreciate the feedback.
Thank you for this morning's word. It reminded me of years ago, my senior year in high school, track and field, you know, when you kept bringing up the track examples. We were having a great year, and we were at the state championship, and I was interviewed by a local newspaper, and I made the comment that my mother told me that I can do anything I want to do. And that day, I broke the state record in a quarter mile. I anchored a national record medley team. And the next day, it was in our local paper, my comment that, you know, my interview, and I said, I can do anything that my mother told me I could do. And that sticks with me, because for me, that set off my achievements from high school through college in corporate America. And, you know, now that I'm retired, it's just, you know, really sticking with Forex. And I feel that I'm in a group now, you know, with the Mindful Mondays, the mentoring, that, you know, this is took me back to, I can do anything I want to do. Yes, you know, we all get off track, we get busy, but, you know, with passion, there's no reason why I can't make this happen now. So I'm really grateful for your word this morning. Thank you.
Appreciate you. Appreciate your feedback. I actually told my mother this. She knew what she was telling me, but she didn't know what she was telling me, because my mother told me the same thing. You can do anything you put your mind to, right? And that too lit something in me, and that fire didn't really get fanned until later on in my life, but it's so true. And we have these old sayings that people have said for years, but no one has really understood the process to actually make them real, right? Or they haven't found the details on, like, literally step by step, how you can go through this process to literally do and create anything that pops into this beautiful, magnificent organism machine that we have between our 2 ears, right? And Now, because of continued expansion, continued awareness, continued digging into what's possible, we're able to understand better now. There's actual steps you can take step by step by step. It's going to take work and it's hard, right? It's our perception of hard because it's change, it's different, but it's possible, right? So now we can tell our kids and our grandkids, this is what you can do, right? These are the steps you can take. Yeah, I know your experience might not have been what you wanted, but this is what you can do to change it. So now I'm teaching my daughter. I tell her that she can do anything she puts her mind to. And every morning, my wife and I, we write these notes to her in her lunch, right? And it's to start to get her mind to thinking about these things. And I challenge her in different ways. As a 2-year-old, right? I had her balancing on blocks just to test, right? And get her to start to feel out what this balance thing is. And for her initially, it was scary. This balancing, walking across objects, I might fall. Yeah, you may, but it's okay because now you can step back up there and gain your balance a little bit better, right? Now we're talking about moving through scary experiences or new experiences, right? She's a cheerleader and she's getting used to different environments and lots of people watching her at the same time, right? And so we're working through how to think through that. Because now I have the ability to give her steps that my mother didn't necessarily have the ability to give me. She said, just go do it, right? And the more I did it, the better I became. And I didn't really make that click until I got to college. In high school, I played sports, right? And she would tell me that. And I'd sit and I'd visualize. I'd literally play games through from waking up in the morning to the jump ball to the end buzzer. I'd sit and I'd imagine them, the plays we ran and all of that. But I didn't understand what I was doing at that time. But I was so immersed in the process, right? In the visualization piece. And what ended up happening is the things that I visualized, they ended up happening as I dreamt about them. Because the focus was that direct and that consistent. And that's literally where we are today is, like I said, this whole platform just started with a thought. And we put in the time, the effort, the energy to create it, to cultivate it. And now we're continuing to put the effort in, and with you guys' effort, you guys' energy, it continues to help evolve this community into the beautiful thing that it's going to become, right? It's a beautiful process. Ms. Cassandra, what your mother told you was 100% correct. And what my desire is with this space and with everything that I'm doing is to help people truly understand that that isn't just a saying. It's reality. It's real. And you have the ability to shape your reality based on the things that you desire. And there's steps you can go through to do it. That's my mission. So appreciate you guys, man. Any other feedback before we wrap it up for the morning?
I think it's important to really really understand who you are too, to really believe, you know. I realized that in order for me to really, really press into those results that I want, I really have to find that belief in me and faith, to really see it, and
Yeah.
it's close. I could feel it, so
It's there.
yeah,
It's there.
yeah,
You just got to continue taking the steps.
yeah. So it's a beautiful, beautiful feeling though.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Okay.
So couple things. I'm going to give you guys a challenge, and then I'm going to ask a favor of you guys. The challenge is this. Well, I'm going to ask the favor first, and then I'm going to give the challenge because that's what I want to leave you guys with. So my ask is, I'm going to post the link to the site that we have reviews on of the service that we provide. If you guys can go to that link, those that have been with us and have experienced time with us, if you can leave us a review, that would be absolutely awesome. What I want to leave you guys with is a challenge, a homework assignment is the things that you desire to achieve. Pick 2 things that you desire to achieve and the person you desire to become. Write those things in individual statements, starting with I am. I am blank. I am blank. I am blank. What I want us to do, and I'll get into this in future sessions, but I want us to start putting the things that we desire, put them into statements as if they are currently. You're living that now. Current statement, I am this. Because what I want us to start doing and what we're building up to, right, is shifting those beliefs. But what it does is it starts to rewrite that program, right? And right now, we all operate off of a subconscious program, right? Information, things, experiences that we've been taught that we may have experienced, right? They're in our past. And we currently have the ability to write our future, right? In this current moment, in this current experience, right? So I want us to start to write our future, to rewrite that program for the person that we desire to become. Because what we do today is going to be what we experience in the future. What we tell ourselves today is what we're going to experience in the future. The actions that we take today will impact the experience that we have in the future. So I want us to write those statements. In those statements, I want you to read in the morning, first thing when you wake up, in the afternoon, and before you go to bed. Be the last thing that you read before you go to bed. Those I am statements. We'll get to more of it in the future, but I want us to start with that today. Miss Kia, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
Double check your email for the Telegram link. That would have been sent to you within a couple hours. If you're just not able to get in, what I suggest is if you have the app, delete the app, re-download the app, and try clicking that link again. Sometimes there's a broken piece in there, right? That email link, not sure why you didn't receive it, but I'll go in and I'll check the system to see what happened with the email this morning. And you can always log into the platform, right, to get all of the links to all the live sessions that we have. And they're also recorded, so you can always go back to rewatch them. Okay.
Okay, so for the Telegram, was there, I never got a link or anything to actually get into the Telegram, so I don't even know how to get there.
I would double check your email, because that email is automatically sent to you shortly after you enroll. Yeah. So check your spam, check your promotions folder. If you did not,
okay. Yeah.
send us an email at the forextraderoom@gmail.com, and I'll look into it to see what happened. When did you enroll?
Last night.
Last night. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll double check that. That may come to you today. So
Okay.
yeah, I'll double check that. Send us an email at the forextraderoom@gmail.com for me, please.
Gotcha. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. And welcome. Welcome to the family. We're glad to have you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ryan, where will I find the link to go put in the wonderful reviews? Where would I go to do that?
Give me 1 second. I'll post it in the chat, and I'll also post it in the Facebook group as well. There you go.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Greatly appreciate you. All right, good people. Yo, you have the ability. You have the ability. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes energy, but you have the ability, right? So let's focus this week on taking that one step forward, making that 1% progress, right? Learn from the mistakes, and let's grow today. All right. You guys have an awesome, awesome Monday. We'll be back at it tomorrow morning, 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the pre-New York session. Then my awesome partner, Mr. Benny Allen, be back with us tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Asian session. You guys have an awesome Monday, an awesome week. We'll see you in the morning. Peace.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day, everybody. Thank